"6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, the home of Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. There they gave a dinner for him. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those at the table with him. Mary took a pound of costly perfume made of pure nard, anointed Jesus' feet, and wiped them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, the one who was about to betray him, said, 'Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor?' He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. He kept the common purse and used to steal what was put into it. Jesus said, 'Leave her alone. She bought it so that she might keep it for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me.'"
There's nothing normal about Mary's actions in this story. Washing the feet of a guest was a servant's job, typically performed upon arrival, not a task to be carried out by a host in the middle of a meal. And the value of the perfume was beyond extravagant. At that time and place, 300 denarii was worth a year's wages. And perhaps most shocking of all, she wiped Jesus' feet with her hair. In Jewish culture, a woman's hair was considered her glory and normally kept covered in public. Mary must have been overcome with devotion to break these norms, humbling and risking herself so utterly in front of the town's leading citizens. It's one of the most dramatic displays of adoration in the Bible. Judas, on the other hand, gives what some might consider a conventional response. He's unimpressed by Mary's actions and condemns the waste of money, claiming to be advocating for the poor, although we're told he secretly steals from donations. There couldn't be a sharper contrast between the reactions of these two. Mary's adoration was surely fueled by memories of her previous encounters with Jesus, when he defended her desire to sit at his feet, while her sister Martha urged her to help in the kitchen. And the stunning moment when Jesus called her dead brother Lazarus out of his tomb? She was probably also moved by a sense of approaching doom. Jesus, after all, is on his way to a place where people are waiting to kill him. And Mary knows this man is her greatest love and only hope. She's compelled to give up everything for him: money, respect, and status. But Judas, oblivious to the beauty and insight of the gesture, clings to his own agenda. Some strange mix of legalistic social justice, personal greed, and frustrated confusion about who Jesus really is leads him to complain about wasting money. One follower plots betrayal, while the other lies prostrate in surrendered worship. Perhaps the biggest difference between them is that Judas was focused only on himself and his own plans, while Mary was simply overwhelmed by Jesus.
What happiness do we not feel in the presence of God when we find ourselves alone at His feet? The answer to deep anxiety is the deep adoration of God. To fall in love with God is the greatest romance. To seek Him, the greatest adventure. You were made by God and for God, and until you understand that, life will never make sense. Worship is our response to the overtures of love from the heart of the Father.
Have you ever been overwhelmed by the beauty or love or awesomeness of God? When and where did this happen, and how did it feel? Do you have practices that help you focus on who God is and what God is like? What are they, and what competes with them? If you had to plot yourself on a continuum between Judas, the extreme of self-focus, and Mary, the extreme of Christ focus, where would you be? Sit quietly for a moment and reflect on what could move you closer to an adoring Christ focus. It might be helpful to reread the passage, imagining yourself in Mary's place. What's going on in your mind as you visualize each moment of the scene? Finish by asking Jesus to show you more of what he is like.